Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to Go Live, the Saturday evening talk show, and I should be crystal clear, dank, no complaints. This is the second microphone I've got, well, third, actually technically fourth microphone, second show SM7B, we should be good, okay? Tell me though if it's crap, but we're live. We're gonna have a dank show, we have a great guest as always, and we're gonna get into the topics. It's been a very dramatic week, ups and downs every week there seems to be something going on. But before I go into introduce the topics, let me do the plug, by the way, because we bloody run a website and a lot of people don't know what we do. This show is run by GameOnDaily. GameOnDaily.com is a news aggregation platform. All the news should be there from multiple sources in one sexy place. So you guys should need to check it out. If you want to make articles on there, do it. We have plans, though, to make sure we get that woven into our talk shows. So you guys are going to be prizes every week. Get rich as we get poor. And just really go hard on promoting that, because it's a really powerful tool we're looking to create. Asa, we have not tested the new thing, but as I do the intro, maybe you want to talk about it, or maybe we do the testing before we announce the new massive dank feature we've got. But hi, Asa, co-founder and co-host of Go Live. How are you?
I'm great. I've been away for most of this week, so I don't know what's going on really with the games and stuff. So I might be a little bit lost on this week's show. I won't be, I know. I've kept a finger on the pulse, so I'll be able to keep up with the conversation. But there might be a few bits and pieces I've missed. GameOnDaily, fantastic platform. The new things that are coming, I think we'll save that. But it's like Gus says, it's a social news aggregation platform. So get on there, get your friends on there, start sharing news with them. The stuff that you'll see is the stuff that your friends are talking about. So get some people on there and it'll be fun. And yeah, that's it. It's Saturday. Let's get on with the show. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about the feature. It's quite exciting. It's been ages in the works and still got lots more developing for the platform. But before stop talking about that, let's talk about these sexy guests coming to our show, gracing us with their presence once again. BitCloud Gaming, man. It's oh man, I had to have you on because you're a PlayStation centric guy. It was lovely having you on last time. Great to have you on again. I hope you're having a good day. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's long overdue to come back on here. I enjoy myself. Definitely love the platform. Tune in every time I get. So it's good to see you guys doing what you're doing. Very nice.
Thanks. It's good to have you, man. It's good to have you. And we're going to get into it. I heard while I was talking with my microphone out, you guys were getting into the topics already. And yeah, it's going to be saucy, ladies and gentlemen, because come on, we always bring the sauce. A gentleman who is no stranger to the sauce, although he may not know what we're talking about, is a veteran of the sauce because he swims in it. No filter. This guy is rawer than me. So he makes me blush with his Twitter feed. It's the lovely Wilmy Hood of the legendary Gaming Beyond the Box. How are you doing, man?
I am glad to be back, and thank God you got BitCloud, because the last time I was on here, you had that one guy. Oh my God, dude! I never wanted to drive a drill bit through my ears so bad in my whole life.
Well, what guy was this?
Wait, that's a rap dude, Marlon or whatever his name is.
Marlon Game.
Oh yeah, Marlon. Oh.
Oh my God, dude! I'm sorry, man. See, Bit is awesome. I talk to Bit quite a lot. We agree on a lot of things, man. You know, it's about games. But this Marlon dude, oh my God, dude! I was so ready. After the podcast was over, I went and slammed my dick in the bathroom door like 7 fucking times.
Well, I'm confused. What exactly happened here?
What happened?
I'm interested here. What happened here?
It was just the banter coming back and forth from this guy. I was like, Jesus Christ, he never shuts up.
Oh God.
Marlon, if you're watching this, I did not know that was coming, but the shade has
But
come.
if you're familiar,
Shout out to Marlon.
if you're familiar with me and my podcast, we don't pull punches.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you don't.
You don't pull invites too. I'm just saying. I haven't got my invite. Wilmy, what's up?
Yeah, you did, and you had a game or something, dude. Remember?
Ah, here we go.
No, hey, anytime you want to come on, you all you gotta do is send me a message, dude. I'd love to have you on.
Hollywood, man. I'm seeing it. Heartbroken. See, you just pulled my heart out and threw it in the damn street. See, look at that.
Well, I made it. I made it this week. I made that gaming.
Okay, then fine. Then fine. I'll send you an invite, and you can join us for this Wednesday night. How's that?
Oh, sounds good.
I'd love to have you on.
All right.
It's gonna be wicked. Gaming the Beyond the Box is hilarious. It was so good. I was actually disappointed this week. Tuesday. Wednesday. What's lost concept?
And I was missing 4 panel members.
I know. Well, we carried it. Where's Fork?
Oh,
Wasn't there? Ladies getting better, I think. So I tried to get her on here, but hope she's recovering. It sounds like she's getting well. But yeah. But thank you so much for coming on, Wilmy, and for blasting our ex-guest here, Marlon. Those are all Wilmy's views. They may not represent that of GameOnDaily, but if you cannot go live, you better handle the source.
Like the meme says, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap about that conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are also watching Rand's show, tell him to get lost and get on here. He's having his show alongside ours. He had internet troubles, but we're gonna get into the source. Let's go straight into the topic. We have to talk about this. If you follow me on Twitter, well, you know I've been just laughing at the whole situation because, you know, when this stuff happens, you can be very angry. You can be pragmatic and just see that like Asa does, completely devoid of emotion, but completely rational. Or you could just be saucy, enjoy and laugh at the situation, which is exactly what I did because PlayStation are royally taking the piss. Oh, sorry, that was a little bit late with the censor beat there. Oh, man. They are taking the mick because what's happened in the news, what they announced is Horizon Forbidden West, this upgrade model. I mean, to this day, I don't understand what's going on. But basically, if you want, and it's got a new term now deployed in the console arena called dual entitlement. Dual entitlement, man. If anyone's entitled, that's bloody PlayStation. Because now, in order to, and Wilma, you actually messaged me. I found out through you. You DM'd me when this broke out. This news that Horizon Forbidden West, in order to play that on the PlayStation 5, if you bought the PS4 version, you can only do that if you bought the deluxe edition. If you didn't buy the deluxe edition, you're screwed. You're screwed. You can't upgrade, can you? Like you could with Ghost.
Nope.
No.
So that makes no sense in a time when hardly anyone's able to get a hold of a PlayStation 5.
It makes sense in a weird way. It makes sense. It makes sense. Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. Because dudes are complacent. Me and Wilmy talk about this all the time. Dudes have become very complacent. They let shit pass. And what the thing is, everybody is so quick to say, well, Xbox doesn't have games. So they'll use that as an argument, try to mask it. But it's like, at the same time, you see it every damn time. When it's small stuff like this, it gets brushed under the rug. Or they go to the extremes and say it's a conspiracy against PlayStation.
Yeah.
There's no conspiracy against PlayStation. Jim Ryan was on record for saying that PS4 owners would get a free upgrade when you buy it. And he even said it live that, yes, there's no way we can guarantee you a PS5. That's why we're doing that decision. So the fact that he flipped on that decision and is giving you nothing and is literally asking for double now, it's ridiculous.
I don't get that.
But you know what kills me? What kills me is these dudes who claim they're for us. They speak for me. They speak for Wilmy, right? They speak for everybody. They go, well, screw the dudes on PS4. What do you mean screw the guys on PS4? They were already promised this game early on, it's still going to drop on that console. So what do you mean screw those guys? Those guys should automatically have that. I've said this even on I've said this on Boom Show plenty of times with Wilmy too, that Sony needs a better system in play for upgrades.
Yeah,
and
they really
never
do.
and they never done this. And it's like every time I mention this, I get flack for some odd reason, but it's true. There needs to be a natural system for this. Like even going as simple as using a feature for this right here. You know, all that stuff should be programmed in with patches, and they've already done that because this controller gets what, guys? Patches. It gets upgraded. So the fact that that's not even in the system, again, it doesn't make any sense. But again, people just want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear one thing, and that's Xbox sucks. They don't want to hear that Sony is, in the wrong for this. I don't know what to tell you.
Big shout out to a lot of even the most hardcore of PlayStation guys like MBG and some other people. They have called him out. And that, I said, is a sign of how bad things are. When MBG is calling out PlayStation and saying, this is ridiculous. Shout out to him, by the way, that for him to do that. Respect. Even though I made it sound like even MBG. MBG are invited on the show. Yeah, I mean, they, in fairness, were calling it out. But I did see a lot of people say what you just did, BitCloud, that, oh, but just buy the PS5 version. There's not a big deal. I've got a PS5. Wilmy, what the hell, man? This is
that doesn't make any sense for PS4 users. Like, hey, just buy the PS5 version. Future-proof yourself. Yeah, future-proof yourself for a console that you know damn well there's like not even a slim chance you can get your hands on. Right? It's like, It's like a needle in a haystack type of chance.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get one at this point. And mind you, Sony's already cheaping out on the newer models to get them out there. That was the point behind that new model, is to get more on the shelves. So
see, I wondered if that's what they were trying to do too, is to get more of them out on the market.
It makes sense.
They really need to.
Yeah, think about it. They're making full-fledged pricing on each one now with these newer models, Wilmy, and they cut out on the vital parts that they use to future-proof it.
The heat sink.
This particular unit might work as advertised. Let's say for like the first 5 years. We don't know how long going down the road though, in terms of like longevity when you cut off on stuff like that, like heat sinks. I'm just saying, like people don't want to hear, but it's true.
Chat. But yeah, she says
Erica's
you're a fraud, Big Cloud.
Erica's a whole fraud. Out there, Erica.
Yeah, Wilmy, what's your take on this, man? I mean, come on, sometimes we blow things out of proportion in the gaming thing, but this is like, I mean, at some point you have to call PlayStation out. I mean, the funny thing is with Horizon Forbidden West, they never actually announced it was cross-gen until late in the day anyway. And their justification, like BitCloud said, was the fact that because there are no PlayStation 5s out in the wild, we did this. And now, this is bad.
Just like Spider-Man. Remember Spider-Man, guys? When we all thought that was true next gen. And then they did it on the release week. I think they said it was like the release month of it. They said, hey, guys, it's going to be on PS4. It's like, why lie about something when you know you're going to sell the system regardless? It just, it's bad messaging. It's a bad look in the long run. And it's still a thing. Like Jim Ryan, he is not good at public speaking. He's just not. Like you need Herman Holtz and that type of thing. You really do. But
Wilmy.
But this probably wouldn't have been as bad if Jim didn't come right out and say it was going to be a free upgrade. That's what really makes it bad. If that would have never been said, maybe people wouldn't be so upset over this. But
I mean, it's already bad that this exists when the competition is doing something.
Because, I remember a lot of YouTubers and content creators were making fun of smart delivery.
Yeah,
they're just calling it buzzwords.
Yeah.
And I can sit here, I can give you 25 reasons to hate Xbox, and I can give you 25 reasons to hate PlayStation. Yeah. I play on everything anyway. But the thing is, Xbox does do that a hell of a lot better. At least there is a way, you don't have, because there's a lot of games on my PS5 where it gives me multiple versions of the game. I get the PS4 version and the PS5 version, and you have to go into your storage and try to figure out which version you're actually playing and delete one of them. It's really sloppy software. There's no good way to put it. They should have had it said there should have been something in place to sort it at least, so you didn't have this issue. But it would have been a lot smoother. And I mean, it's $10, for the upgraded version. I'm not really sure what they're going to do if you have a PS4 now, which most gamers do. and then you go to buy it again on the PS5, because some people do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to charge you full price for it again. Is that the deal?
Yeah.
You have to buy it all
unless you
over
buy the
again?
deluxe edition, which is
Yeah.
$80
But
or pounds. I don't know.
you know, I mean, $10 is $10. You know, it's not that big of a deal to me, but
70
know-
became 80 very, very quickly.
it did. But you know, a lot of times when I buy a game, and it doesn't matter if I buy it on PlayStation or Xbox, I always buy the deluxe edition, regardless.
Look at Wilmy just.
Well, Mommy's a part of the problem. See, look at you. You're the problem. You're the problem.
Well, some of the games, you know, if I know I'm going to play a game for a while, then you know I'll buy the extended or whatever. But some games I don't. Some I buy just the standard, but most of them are the deluxe edition. So to
Yeah.
me, it wasn't a big deal, but it would have been a lot smoother with the entire community if he wouldn't have said it was going to be free. That's the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know.
And to pour salt in the wounds. I don't know how late. So this is a post from the Washington Post. This is quote from good old Jim Ryan, and he says, "No one should be disappointed. The PlayStation 5 versions of those games are built from the ground up to take advantage of the PS5 feature set, and we have an upgrade path for PS4 users to get the PS5 versions for free." Oh, sorry, this was the older one. It's about people having choice. I'm really quite pleased about the situation, is what he said then, and now silence.
In other
And-
words, I want more money. Let's just monetize the whole thing. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
Hoggy Channy, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Asks a very good question. Are the tides turning on PlayStation? Are more gamers are getting annoyed with these tactics? Still don't understand why PlayStation 5 is $70 and PS4 $60 for the same bloody game. Why? PlayStation is for the payers, and this is a meme that's been
well,
doing the
dude,
rounds.
I've seen Twitter Spaces this week, and I'm not going to name names, and Bit knows who I'm talking about. I've seen Twitter Spaces. You know, we're glad to pay for quality. We're glad to pay. I mean, hey, dude, you do you. If that's what you want to do, then so
That's
be
become
it.
a meme at this point. Support the developers, yet. And we bring up Outriders. Outriders would have died within a week if that was the mindset. If Game Pass didn't exist. So
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it just different people. I don't know, man. Just some people don't make sense to me. But yeah, some people are defending it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm kind of like Ace up here. I just don't really have an opinion. I could care less one way or the other. But you know, I do see people defending it wholeheartedly,
yeah.
turning it into a console war thing, and I just don't understand their intent. It just blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah, well then, Asa, surely you, like, I know Wilmy says, like you, he's kind of sitting in the sidelines observing this stuff, which is probably the smart play for all. But come on, and this is somewhat egregious, no? Like you're charging, especially with smart shift, smart shift,
Smart delivery.
This is a little
smart
bit strong. So
delivery.
This whole PlayStation thing has been a big ad for smart delivery, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Good question though. Like, so Bit Club, with all of this going on, what version of Horizon are you actually going to buy?
This is PS5. There's no way I'm no way I'm paying that digital deluxe. I actually no reason.
Will me, what version of Horizon are you going to buy?
The deluxe.
Okay.
You mean I've already bought it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm asking that question in that way, and I'm framing it like that deliberately because there's not even a notion that you're not going to buy the game. So why should Sony give a shit? Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Like in a weird way, I wanted the collector's edition, Asa, really, really bad. Like I even posted about it on Twitter. I was going to pull the trigger on it, but it was sold out immediately. And I was like, and then I looked the details about it. You don't even get the disc with that, which is first for Sony. That kind of looks like Nintendo vibes. I don't know if y'all noticed. Nintendo does that. So that just goes back to Jim Ryan. If you think about it, his mindset, he wants to be like Nintendo. He wants to get the most out of each IP as much as he can. That's why you're seeing remakes of games you've already seen or repackages of them in director's cuts. So
yeah, it's like, obviously I sit here, I've got an Xbox, I see what Microsoft are doing, and it's very, very easy to say comparatively, Sony are dropping this one terribly. It looks awful, but at the same time, is it hurting the many? Not based on that very small sample size. No, it's not. Over time, it might do. But you have to think, without that lens, if you look back just one generation when Microsoft launched the Xbox One, They did a cross-gen game. They did Forza Horizon 3, I think it was 2 or 3. No, it was 3. And you could get that on the Xbox 360 and you could get that on the Xbox One, and they were separate versions of the game and there was no upgrade path. Unless I'm remembering completely wrong, you bought whichever version you bought. And that was standard in the industry. That's how Nintendo worked, that's how Sony worked, that's how Xbox worked. Xbox have come along this gen and they've turned that on its head and done undeniably great things for us as people that play games, all right? It's fantastic to see. But if you're Sony, how much attention do you pay to Xbox? How much attention do you pay to the noise on Twitter? If you've got all this success, all this data, all this analytics to say your business plan is working, why should they start giving things away from their perspective, not from ours?
That's the thing. Again, it goes back to what I said, and me and Wilmy have had this conversation multiple times. We got flagged for this conversation, didn't we, Wilmy? But dudes are complacent. Dudes are really complacent. Like, it's not even funny. Like, even a small ounce of criticism, not even major, right? I can just say, like, Sony needs more multiplayer games. I'll have a legion of dudes come at me and say, oh, that's false. They don't need it. They got these games. I'm like, that's cool for that demographic, right? But I'm talking about more, branching out the more. And that's the thing. Like, people don't, I don't know. It's like people don't respond to criticism really, really well in this community. They really don't. They think criticism is hate, and it's really not.
Yeah. No, but Asa, to your point about Twitter being a small little echo chamber, look at what happened with Xbox Gold, Xbox Live Gold. That was a less than 24-hour U-turn, and that was, let's be honest, based on dissent with the core Xbox community on Twitter, not the masses.
Yeah, it's not. So I'm definitely not saying that Sony are doing the right thing here, and I'm just wondering what the consequence will be, because Twitter is a small space and Sony don't engage with it very much, and you can see
it's true. I know where you're coming from.
They have a fan base that's vocal, but even then, the people that BitCloud are talking about and Wilmy are talking about that are going out of their way to defend it, are Sony even hurting the core that badly? Hopefully, enough people will start buying Xbox games that it will force Sony's hand. But for so long as the data supports them, they're going to charge as much as they can, because they are a business and that's what they exist to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can't wait
they're
for
in the business to make money. That's it.
Yeah. And that's where me and Wilmy had this bet. Did we have this bet, Wilmy, or somebody else that I had a bet with on Boom? But I was like, I think it was either you or David. But I said it's gonna be a matter of time until I see that Game Pass model of some sort and PlayStation. Because let's face it, a lot of these dudes are not buying these games day one, these $70 games. It would be crazy if they have an option for it. I see it happen at this point down the road.
See, a lot of people are buying games that they're saying they're going to buy, like Fonz, for instance. He said he won't be buying PlayStation 5 games for $70, let alone $80, which is fair enough. I don't blame him, actually, because I'm inclined to do the same thing, but it's hard when you're content creators and you want to create content quick, which we don't do, which we will be doing. But the thing is, Nintendo got away with it. PlayStation now seems to be following that Nintendo route now, and like Asa says, maybe they'll just carry on like that, which sucks. Which means to me that Xbox gets so much flack, and then Xbox responds to the flack and does so relatively quickly, which is what I've been saying for years. Which, even though bringing up their faults, you have to admire them, no? Why Xbox are so reactive, or at least in tune with the core market. You can say it's all business, but Microsoft's old business model and almost what the Xbox Series X is right now is almost a result of listening so closely to what we were complaining about. And if Sony carry on like this, Asa, I don't think this is inconsequential. I think, one, they will respond. Two, they will have to double back on their policy, because the core gaming, I've said this before on the show, the core gaming circle is really, as tiny as it is, everything branches out of that. Otherwise, Microsoft wouldn't bother and adopt the same approach Sony did and say, we don't care.
So for me, there's a fundamental difference between Sony and Microsoft, in that Microsoft, even before the Xbox One launched, they had already changed direction. Their ambitions were already different. They already wanted to shift what the console model is, what gaming is, how they deliver software and services. And they tried with the Xbox One, and the response was so strong that they got nowhere. So now they are doing absolutely everyone to convince people to come onto their digital future of subscription services. Sony have not adopted a new, like we said on many topics, like Sony delivering games on PC, people want to see those soon, and Sony doing a Game Pass equivalent, all the rest of it. They all depend on a paradigm shift where Sony are no longer following the traditional console model.
Yeah, because PS Now is not it.
Yeah, well, we said it before. PS Now is more likely to get like a rehaul, like a rebranding type of thing. You know what I mean? Redone type of look, because it makes sense in the long run. Streaming games, it sounds cool on paper, but it's not there in terms of just like the overall quality. It's just not there. People really want to play the game, so I actually do see them overhauling that and redoing it of some sorts for the future.
Yeah.
At least
Dan Lazaro calls you a
stuff.
fraud, Will. Yeah. He says you're a full fraud. He says can't complain if you're still buying it. Actually, you're not complaining.
But I didn't complain though. That's
yeah, you didn't complain. You didn't complain. So you're not a fraud. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat, Dan Lazaro. Sony charges for higher graphics settings. Bad look. Blue Boy Voice with the £2 super chat. Thank you so much. And he's right. If you're on PC, think about how stupid the notion is, Asa. If you're, I'm not because I'm saying you're defending it. I'm just having this conversation with you, making you the bad guy in this. No, because when you buy a PC, you know, it's like you upgrade your GPU. Oh, hey, by the way, pay another £10 to play the same game. It's just such a silly notion.
Well, now you know. £10 to toggle the settings. There you go. That's basically the same.
That's what it is. Blue by Voice is right, man. That's exactly what it is. It's stupid. And I know what you're saying, Asa. Again, this is why I'm just bringing you up.
You don't. Go on.
Asa's not defending it, by the way. I know Asa gets so much flack for being the sensible one. But what's it saying? Like, yeah. So I was going to say, you said, look, Microsoft are the ones who brought this in. They sprung this up and changed the game. They kind of took a lead with this. But I would say the way the generational transition from PS4 to PS5 and Xbox One to Series is unique, that it invited Microsoft to do this. And it wasn't just alien to Microsoft's policy. It was just the way the industry was, the way the consoles were, and the transition that's been handled. This is a bit unique. This cross-gen overlap, I know we got it with the 360 and Xbox One, but this one is a lot more blurry.
I partly agree, except that you're framing it like that's coincidence or luck. And it's not. That's what Microsoft planned and built when they moved architecture on the consoles. This was their plan.
From Xbox One, you mean?
Well, yeah, and PlayStation did the same. So they went from weird console architecture to common architecture and a completely different upgrade path. So if you go back to the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, up to those consoles lasted about 5 years. Those consoles lasted 8 years, and it was way too long. Budgets for games were too big, audiences were huge, and they couldn't afford to do a console reset. And that's why that hardware stayed so long in the tooth. And both companies said, never again. We need to smooth out this generation for ourselves and for all of our partners. We can't reset our audience to zero every time we want to release new hardware. So this was planned and structured. It's not a coincidence or like just happened by circumstance. But the thing with Sony charging extra for extra graphic settings is outrageous, and it makes sense. Right?
It's outrageous and it makes sense.
It's outrageous and it makes sense, because if you're looking at the audience, if a person has a PlayStation 5, they're telling you right up, their negotiating position when they're looking at pricing is, hey, I love games, I've got the means to buy things, it's a top priority for me, I'm going to spend money. And Sony are pricing for that audience. Right? If you're a PlayStation 4 gamer, and you say, I haven't got a PlayStation 5, maybe it's not my top priority. I like games a bit on the side, but there's more important things to me, or I don't have the means, or whatever else it will be. Supply and demand is very different in that circumstance. You can take supply out of the equation because games are digital and you can multiply them infinitely. But you still got a question of demand, and the demand from PlayStation 5 users is, I want games and I'm willing to pay quite a lot of money. So Sony can find an excuse to extract a little bit more.
Well, they don't need to. Again, like I said, they don't need to make excuses. They got dudes to do the advertising for free for them.
So,
And see, the weird part,
go on.
There's a lot of people that don't even buy any games. They just play free-to-plays.
Say it again, Wommy. Say it again.
I mean, Fortnite is still one of the most popular games, and then Warzone. Maybe Warzone's overtaken it by now. But there's still a lot of people that don't even buy these games, period. They never intended to, and they won't. So
Using
Actually,
OBS, I guess. Is that what you guys use?
Yeah.
Check your frame drops. I think
It's
they're
still
saying
perfect.
frame
So people that are watching and are having trouble here, it is perfect going out, but we are streaming with ultra low latency, and YouTube can get a bit funny. So all I can do is ask you to just grin and bear it. I will
or
say,
refresh. Hit refresh. I think that fixes it.
hit refresh might fix it for you. I can't really interrupt it and do much about it, but I just have to say, like, it sounds like I'm defending what Sony are doing here when I'm saying, like, this is why they're doing it, and it makes sense. I'm not. I'm just stepping back and saying, like, from their perspective, you can see it. It makes sense. Me, obviously, I buy games, so I much prefer what Xbox are doing. It suits me far better to get things cheaper. Obviously, I'm not saying any different.
That's the thing. I see people getting flack when they say that, right? Like they just want to pay. They want cheaper games. People get mad at this. They go, "Well, why do you want cheaper games instead of supporting the developer?" I just don't get this mindset at all. It's like, again, Microsoft went from being more so not necessarily mentioned as much to now being looked at as the best deal because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
We all mentioned this before. Game Pass, it had games, right? But most of the games in there was stuff we already played. Now they switched it up to where it's like there's more value there with first party and newer games. So it's like I don't really understand where everybody complains really the most about. I really don't.
I think some people just like to complain.
Huh? You said what?
Some people just like to complain. I mean, that's they
like
do.
Co-op. Who was complaining about that?
Some guy that got drowned in a bathtub.
Yeah, that was spiritually Asa doing that. But no, actually, Boo Boy Voss, look, I agree with you, and this counters what you were kind of saying. Stream is loading, by the way. I don't know if we're still up.
Still left. I still see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So just going up to Blue Boy Voss, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. He goes, Sony doesn't ignore Xbox internally. They want to compete with Microsoft as well as emulate Nintendo, but they can't have it both ways and be half-assed. I agree with you, Blue Boy Voss, because the proof is in the pudding. Many a time Sony has in its PR statements on stage, on Gamescom, or anything from this is how you share games, or any opportunity that Sony has had presented to it, it has capitalized it against Xbox. They do care what Xbox is doing. They've responded to because how can you be ignorant of Xbox? This giant monolith of a company that is now swallowing Bethesda, that could potentially really knock you out of the arena. They can't ignore it, Asa. There's no way. They will be mindful of this. And I still think they would be like, I still think there'll be an internal board meeting after this Horizon fiasco. They're like, oh, guys, look, what do? Do we just let it blow over and let our guys just take it up the... Sorry, I keep missing the button. Or do we address this policy because it's just building up again and again and again? And if the core guys like MBG and some guy called Red Dragon and some other these people are calling him out, when those guys call it out, that to me is like, damn, it takes a lot for those guys to say something.
Here's the counter, though, too. Here's a funny counter to what you're saying, too, that they had ready to go. You remember that show, the showcase that we're going to see on Thursday? They literally kept that off. Hope y'all realize that that show was supposed to happen 2 months ago. They pushed that back to this very day because they knew they were going to get the backlash. They threw this out here to counter it out. Yeah, I know that's how they did it. They did that to counter it out. It was okay. You know what? New show. Yeah, new show is going to take away the heat. That's exactly why they did it. But now it's like you have to show God of War. You got to show whatever big game you got to get people's eyes off of this. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be there. I'm not expecting Spider-Man, but that's wishful thinking for Spider-Man too. But it was all Erica. It was all a tactical thing on their end.
I was just about to say that tactical.
And I agree because they've got people that make a ton of money just sit back and pay attention to everything on social media. They have to.
Yeah.
And they study it. They know when to release something, when to put out information, when not to. So I agree with Ben on that one 100%. There's somebody doing it.
Yeah, nobody's sitting there and being out of the loop. You got to have somebody who's paying attention to all cylinders. Like, you know what? Are they reacting to this well? Okay, guys, pull the trigger. It's gonna happen. Pull the trigger.
Yeah, 100%. They have their ears on the ground. They know exactly what they're doing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Big Cloud. As soon as the show was there, here's the carrot, here's the stick. But don't worry about it. The carrot is gonna be sick next week when the show God of War and Horizon. We'll all be talking about how sick God of War looks and almost forgotten about Horizon's bloody pricing policy. How fickle are we?
Oh, dude,
gamers?
you're gonna see it. It's gonna be like clockwork. Watch nobody talk about Horizon at all as soon as they see whatever big game is at the Sony event. Just
I know
watch.
I know what I hope they show.
What's up?
What's that?
I want to see that. What me and you were talking about on Twitter yesterday. Resistance.
Resistance.
You know, I did.
dude,
Wilmy,
hope-
I've done videos on it. So I told you.
I know.
Nah,
I hope it's. Oh man, I hope it's.
I
real.
told
Are there
you.
rumors about it, or is that just a wish list?
So no, basically Insomniac was teasing the game for the longest time. They kept showing off like screenshots of the old games, kept reminding us about old characters and whatnot. And then one of the original main directors of the game re-signed to Insomniac, so he's back with them. And of course, as soon as he did that, I started doing videos on this whole thing. I covered this whole thing, literally calling it out. I even did the whole URL search where you put resistance.com into the search bar, and
Oh,
it literally
wow.
takes you to it. Literally took you to the PlayStation 5 store immediately.
Oh,
So I was like,
okay.
whoa, okay. So some stuff's looking pretty interesting here. And when I did that, I started doing that. And it's funny because as soon as I started interviewing PlayStation developers, it was like Sony looked at my videos after, because a lot of that stuff got taken down from them. So I was like, you know what? I'm thinking this is happening low key. They're just keeping this under wraps. And if it is going to be there,
Sounds like it.
that would be a mic drop
man.
moment. That'd be a mic drop moment.
Yep.
I mean,
We'll
it's a
be
mic
shooting
drop moment.
Chimera.
Well, the Resistance games, in my opinion, they weren't all that good.
I mean, you might not like the first one. The second one, you gotta love the second one. Second one is so good.
Is it? I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
And
that
the
much.
multiplayer was always fun.
Multiplayer was definitely addicting in 2. I didn't like 1. I thought 2 was just so
Yeah,
more balanced. Yeah.
2 was the better one.
It makes a lot of
Tuesday.
sense.
Did you
Okay,
play?
I
Did you play 3? Did you play 3 with me? I didn't even play
Yeah,
with 3.
I
Like
played
that.
3.
You played 3?
So Resistance was
Yep,
obviously
I played them all.
it was shelved in favor of Killzone as their like competition in the first person shooter space. And Killzone's obviously out the way now, so why not bring Resistance back?
Well, Killzone's, I wouldn't say he's out the way. I just think
Oh, it's out the way,
Guerrilla
it's dead.
knows. Nah, I don't think it's dead. I think Guerrilla knows they don't really need it right now because they have Horizon and they're not really focused on it right now. And plus, it had a good reaction with Shadowfall. I think Shadowfall was received pretty good, but I don't think they really want to go back there. They want to continue to touch on new stuff.
Yeah.
Resistance is that type of game though that can bring in those competitive gamers. It was really competitive online. It really can do that.
Yeah, Sony need that game. They need a first-person shooter badly. Resistance could really, really be that game.
It's green.
Oh, yeah.
Now their network's a lot smoother than what it was back then too.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a
Do
lot
party
better.
chat now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it actually works fairly well.
Yeah, I remember when I
Yeah.
first got it on PS3. It's crazy. That was like the only good game for the start of the PS3. So it's
Yeah,
it's
I
got
remember
legacy.
that.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
legacy.
The thing with first person
Well-
shooters though, when you say that Sony need one, is needs the wrong word, because first person competitive shooters is a category that's well served if you've got a PlayStation or anything else. Just because Sony don't have an exclusive doesn't mean that those players are going hungry on that console. But
Yeah. But the multiplayer, let's say multiplayer. Forget first person, multiplayer. They desperately need a multiplayer.
Battlefield,
Kind
Call of
of-
Duty,
No, Sony as a first party to
Apex
milk.
Legends. Why if you're a PlayStation owner do you need a first party shooter?
Well, a first party multiplayer centric game.
Instead
More
of
money,
Sad
no?
Dad cinematic.
I don't know how much this is a shelf life on Sad Dad cinematics. I think Sony look at Microsoft enviously with their multiplayer centric model because there's so many avenues with monetization there as live as a service, games as a service. They really do look enviously on Xbox on that.
They kind of have an
I
ace
feel
card.
that.
If you think about it, they have an ace card. It's called Factions. I don't know if y'all remember that Last of Us
Factions?
Factions. Yeah, Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Last of Us
Oh,
Factions
yeah.
is more
Yeah.
likely going to be Factions 2. I'm sorry, it's going to be thrown into Last of Us 2 director's cut. I see that happen. And you're going to have the remake, obviously, Last of Us 1, and that's going to be linked, kind of like how they did Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. So like 2 different games, but the same multiplayer linked when you get them when they come out. I see that happen for them.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be quite
I
big.
don't know.
Nothing's happened with that. What's maybe we'll see it on Thursday. We won't see on Thursday. They apparently David Jaffe, the creator behind God of War, the legend we've had on the show, says, and I quote, he tweeted, "Just found out about a new PlayStation game they are making. No idea when it's gonna get unveiled. Maybe next week, maybe not. But just know, when it does, people are going to lose their minds." Bad ass. Apparently. Well, he knows his stuff. He wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. So because he still talks to people at Sony. And whatever the hell that is insane. It sounds like a sequel, because for people to lose their minds, unless it's built on a really famous IP movie thing, it's got to be a sequel. Maybe Resistance. You've convinced me with the Resistance, man.
Oh, it
sounds right.
has my full attention. I'll tell you that.
If it's Resistance, I'm just gonna be like, I told you so. All Twitter. That's all you're gonna see from me.
Yep. And then me and you'll join up on a PS5 and we'll shoot some Chimera.
There you go.
Because I would love to see it myself. I would definitely love to see it.
Especially after seeing looking at the Dead Space remake, Wilmy. Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
Can you imagine how it can look on next gen now? Jesus.
I know.
Man.
That's possibilities, dude. Just seeing the bullseye and the auger again that's all I need.
Yeah. I mean, what do you, BitCloud, apart from Resistance, what do you think Sony is actually going to show next week? Because it's only a 40-minute show. It's quite brief.
Yeah. So again, this show was kind of leaked for a little bit, and there was reports that Sony did state that we were going to get updates for Horizon and God of War before obviously Horizon got confirmed to be delayed to next year. So more than likely at this show, you'll probably see a little bit more of Horizon, not necessarily a full-fledged gameplay reveal like we saw before, maybe like another trailer for it. And then in the actual post, they stated that stick around for the end for a surprise. So I would say God of War would be the big surprise to end the show off. Maybe they'll show Atreus holding the axe or something, or you see an older Atreus and he calls Kratos across, and you see more bits and pieces to the story, because they had that badass ending pretty much with the first one with Thor. So maybe Thor, you'll hear Thor in the background or something, but that'd be cool. Aside from that, maybe you can get something for Final Fantasy. A lot of people have been asking for updates on Final Fantasy, or trying to think what else would you possibly see at the show. I mean, my wishful thinking, if I was to throw this out here, I would say Spider-Man 2 would be a nice surprise, a trailer. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. I still need to play the first one before Asa throttles me.
You didn't play the first one? Oh man,
I've got it. I've got Miles Morales as well. Just need to go around to playing it.
I don't even get into all that stuff, and I played Spider-Man.
Look at you. Look at Wilmy. Wilmy over here making progress. He doesn't even like Marvel.
Dude. Yeah, I don't like comics at all. I've never been into any of it. I've never watched any of the movies besides Deadpool, because Deadpool's funny.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I played the hell out of Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
I need to play that. I've got both games. I want to complete Ghosts before I do that. Hoggy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Because will there be an answer to Game Pass at the PlayStation show? I doubt it.
Nah. That needs time to actually be made and done. They don't have that ready.
Yeah,
I see somebody put in the chat, a new SOCOM would be nice. Yes, that would be great too.
They tweeted that a long ago. They tweeted that a while ago.
Who tweeted that?
It was PlayStation Paris or PlayStation London. They posted that about SOCOM. It was like a reminder of SOCOM. So hey, you guys remember SOCOM? So a lot of people, me was like, okay, that SOCOM report might be true, because there was a report to SOCOM. Then obviously I heard the Metal Gear Solid rumors, Castlevania,
Abandoned,
and Silent Hills abandoned, which I don't know who thought that was a good idea with him doing with that game. I was sitting there laughing. Listen, I was sitting there laughing at everybody because it was supposed to go live at midnight at 3, right?
Yeah.
Dudes were streaming for an additional 4 hours afterwards. I'm like, guys, it ain't going to get updated. And they literally said the next day it's going to come out. It comes out. It's the same trailer we saw on Twitter, him walking away only with music. I was like, look.
And then they come out and say you can get the game if you buy their previously unreleased game Yeah.
Oh.
And one quick Google search is all you need to know about that company. That's it.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a shill. I don't think it's as what we think it is. It's all misdirection. There's something else with that studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not what I just can't wait till they actually reveal it. Hey, maybe we could be wrong. It's exactly what we said. It's Silent Hill and Hideo Kojima, and I don't know, just throw in Aubrey Plaza in there because apparently everything is possible.
It's silent. It's Silent Resistance. That's it. They're merging the worlds of Silent Hill and Resistance. That's what it's going to be.
Don't give me hope.
Well, all this talk makes me realize that a lot of us are pining for a lot of these legacy classic titles. SOCOM, Siphon Filter, Resistance. You know, these are legendary games.
Bring me Fear.
Oh, well,
Fear.
you pulling at the heartstring. You said Fear. I need that. Yeah.
Man, bring Fear back. The first
Fear?
two.
Dude, Fear with a Dead Space remake like type of vibe.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that would be mad. That would be mad.
I've got them on my PC. I still go back and play them all the time.
Hell, where's Max Payne? Give me Max Payne.
That one too.
I'll take Max Payne any day of the week too. It's like it's that simple. Like even a remake of the first one.
Because
Cool.
see, I'm kind of in that state of mind, man. Because development companies have gotten kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
A lot of the games we're getting are almost cut and paste of other games. It's almost carbon copies.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want something different. At least back, a couple of gens ago, games were they were a lot different. Now it's like, well, this is another shooter, and and you start playing it. Oh, well, this is like Call of Duty, or this is like Battlefield. It's just almost a copy and paste of some of these games now.
Yeah.
I want something different, something new, something unseen. At this point,
I think we were spoiled back in the day. We were just so used to great games, you know what I mean? Now we're just fighting over bits and pieces of what we can get at this time on with these studios. It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, the stream is coming really choppy for me, but for people watching, listening on Spotify, I'm not gonna do it. It's acting up a little bit today. But yeah, shout out to the 100 people watching us. We're getting into the topics. I want to talk a bit more about the games that we think we're coming because it's more exciting and more positive. I don't want to always be hopping against the PlayStation, but we will be after the second topic. But what else do we think was going to come? Because I have high hopes for Gran Turismo because let's be honest, Forza took the racing crown quite some time ago, at least for me. And I'd like to see a bit of competition in that space because if it gets stale, then the games don't really progress much without competition. So I'm hoping Gran Turismo brings it back. Big Cloud, do you think Gran Turismo 7 is going to be, well, better than Sport, but do you think it could be something that could really light a fire under Forza's backside?
It depends on the studio, really. It depends on how well they pushed it. Both of them are known for that pushing that realism. Like when we saw Forza, that's all live. I was like, damn, I don't look good. So I can only imagine how well, Gran Turismo is going to look. I would like to see it here, though, at least a trailer, like an update on it, let you know, hey, look, guys, even though we didn't launch with the console, it might come out, maybe next year or whatever. We'll get a release window for it. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they show something. But it seems like that because that was was it 2021 release? Potential 2021. Looks like it's 2022 though.
It was. I think it was launch, right? Wasn't it supposedly going to be for launch? And then we just got confirmation that it wasn't, and we just got trailers for it. I think that's how it was.
I didn't know if it was for launch.
It was this year. It was going to be PlayStation 5 exclusive, but now it's also on PlayStation 4. So
yeah. So Jim Ryan, man, he's like
Generations.
He's like PS4. It's going to be around for 2023. I think he said 2023, 2022. So no, 2023. I'm sorry, that's what he said.
2023. I think he said,
you're not gonna see no PS5 games really pushing the hardware until 2023.
So because Forza, the next Forza is next gen only, if I recall correctly. That hasn't been announced as a cross-gen title, and it's work on the ground up for the Xbox Series X because that could be a big advantage that Gran Turismo has down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's not going to happen. Forza will still reign supreme. But then we've got Forza Horizon as well, which is, I know, an arcade game, but that game is certainly in a league of its own as far as races are concerned. That's going to be mad one. I'm
But you have
intrigued.
to
I'm
remember-
intrigued. So, sorry, go ahead.
They can play that game on the older hardware through the cloud.
Yeah,
Ah,
they
yeah.
can.
Good point.
Which is epic. That is something I always thought would be the true forward compatibility that they alluded to last generation. The fact that you can play Microsoft Flight Sim as well on Xbox One through cloud. A game that doesn't really require that much, I mean, you can stomach the lag a bit when you're playing a game like Flight Sim. So, the input lag won't be that much of a problem. But yeah, hopefully PlayStation bring it back.
I don't play
Well,
Flight Sim.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quiet taste. It's good. It's a good tech demo for some people. It's a good, relaxing game. Call it game for a lot of people. I know a lot of people play. Colt plays it a lot. Shout out to Colt. He just chills on that. Flies over certain.
Because he's got all those Xboxes hooked up to one television. That's why.
Can't believe we got flagged for that. It's quite funny. But yeah, so you need to start stream to see if the stuttering gets resolved. What the hell is that? What is that poll you've created?
Just a
Asa?
question for the audience so I can get a feel for how many people are struggling to watch at the moment and whether I need to.
Nah, it is YouTube. It's happened to me before.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube does that thing. Maybe they're doing that. I always call it the little purge, where they check your subscribers and all that, and like YouTube acts choppy afterwards. Like they're checking my subscribers and they remove bot accounts. It's like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they're
they do
using-
There's
that.
a lot of accounts.
They're trying to power Stadia. Somebody turned on their Stadia setup today. So
Yeah.
Damn it!
Hey.
Who's turned on their Stadia? There's got to be one person only. Forgot about that thing. That's quite sad. Yeah. So jumping on to the next topic, I said this was a controversial week, as if it wasn't bad enough about the Horizon Forbidden West. This time, the controversy initially surrounded the PlayStation 5, but then it centered around one individual. So the PlayStation 5, it seems like Sony is doing some cost-cutting measures as far as thermals are concerned, has removed a considerable amount from its heatsink, which has led it to run about 5 degrees hotter, as we found out courtesy of YouTuber Austin Evans. Poor Austin Evans, has he got a lot of hits, got a lot of traction, and what followed after that was something we do not like to see in the gaming community. It's definitely not saucy. It's just sad, petulant children that do this on the basis that they benefit from the anonymity that the internet affords, which has issued death threats, doxing him, mocking him, and all sorts. Austin Evans has been getting all sorts of that nastiness because of video games. That's right, he made a video factually just showing the fact that it runs hotter, although he did mix in with that his opinion that this is a problem. What is that on my shirt? Sorry. My ADHD kicks in.
squirrel.
Yeah, it is white. No, but it's really sad that he got that. I initially did say and my friend Jim was saying this. He said it's not a problem because of. So a lot of people thought, wait, hold on. The power delivery is going to be affected by it, and that's why you're better off getting the old console. But that's not the case. Digital Foundry did do their own check on that. Shout out to them. And they said, and I quote, "Most crucially, the power draw of the machine looks very similar to the launch model of the PlayStation 5 in a world where cost reductions on cooling assemblies are usually rolled out only when the main processor is transferred over to a smaller, more efficient process technology." Now, Austin Evans then released another video, and he just said, look, he stands by it, but the reaction has been horrendous. BitCloud, what is going on with that? Are you actually happy that you've got the older console? I know I am, even though...
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, the one we got is more future proof at this point with the bigger heatsink. A lot of people complained about it, but they did all the stops with that current model. You know what sucks though about this whole story is the fact that the models that we have are on eBay for 3 times the profit now because they're about to drop the newer ones very soon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're already 3 times. But going back to the whole thing with Austin Evans, like I watched the video, I even did a video on it. I was like, he's got a good point. Like we're looking at it from a PC perspective. Like, no PC should be going above, let's say, 80 degrees in general, right? That's usually when we look at things a little different. When we hit that 90-degree point, that's where you're really in the critical. And I was looking at the, temperature and whatnot. I'm like, it looks fine right now, right? But we're not taking into consideration long play sessions. We're not taking into consideration where these systems are at. Like, let's say they're in like not a well ventilated area. Like a lot of people put them in their entertainment centers. You know what I mean? We don't know about that. So I looked at that type of stuff. And I even mentioned that in my video, and it's like I had people literally going, well, it's not that big of a deal. Again, we don't really know because Digital Foundry even said in their article they didn't test the internals of the actual components. They just tested. They just tested light stuff. They did the thermals on the light stuff in terms of like where it was. So we don't know in that case. But from what we've seen, again, they definitely cheaped out on something that I never thought they would cheap out on. But again, this is all about getting more units on the shelves and make profit on the system. Do I agree with it? Not really, because again, there's no guarantee that there's never a guarantee, especially when you're cutting stuff like this, that there's not going to be a faulty unit. I mean, we have faulty units with the base models, right? So when you go into this new unit, it's like there's so much room for error with stuff like this. It really is.
Yeah.
Games already get hot as it is with the system.
Yeah.
And we're not even counting SSDs, by the way.
Yeah.
Thrown in there.
Yeah, the SSD fiasco. Oh, that makes me nervous. I know Digital Foundry will pick up on Acer's big brains on this, but Wilmy, are you worried about the fact that the PlayStation 5's new model runs 5 degrees hot? Do you not care? Because obviously you got the older one.
I've got three. I got 3 of the originals, so I'm good. But
I got 3 of the originals. Watch they all about to be on eBay. I see.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man. I mean, everything we buy, dude. Just think about it. Everything we buy is built to toss away. When you bought a refrigerator back in the 80s, or your parents bought a refrigerator in the 80s, that bitch is still in somebody's garage right now keeping beer or something.
It's true.
I mean,
constant our fridges.
And then you got people like me that goes out and spends thousands of dollars on a Samsung fridge. It shits the bed a year and a half later. That's the cost of electronics. I mean, everybody is looking for a way to make them cheaper and charge more money. They want more profit. So it's really not that big of a shock they did it. Will it last? Will it hold up like the original? Me personally, I'm not into the tech. Hopefully it does. But I know a lot of people's had issues with their PS5s to begin with. I've never had an issue except for on day one. Luckily, and like I said, got 3 of them. I've never had an issue out of either one, except for the first day it came in with the external drive. I had that little screen or whatever. After that, it was all fine. But
do you get this problem with my PS5 is giving me this problem where the disk drive randomly spins, really making a loud noise?
It does that when I boot it up, like it'll go like it revs up super high.
Mine does it while I'm playing.
Mine's super quiet, and one of them stays in rest mode. Everybody talks about rest mode. The one in my living room, it's been in rest mode for days. When I turned it off earlier, I didn't turn it off. I put it into rest mode. I've never had a problem with it at all. But now I do have an Xbox Series X right here on the other side of this desk from me over in this corner. I was playing State of Decay 2. And if I would have had some bacon, I could have had fucking breakfast in here.
Wow, is that hot? It got that hot, huh?
Dude, it got fairly warm.
Yeah.
But, and the biggest thing with the PlayStation, just make sure you take the panels off and clean it on occasion.
Yeah.
Because I changed my panels over. I converted them all to the black panels.
Same.
And it's not hard to do. And you don't need a screwdriver. You don't need to be an architect. You don't need to be an engineer.
Yeah.
They pop off really super easy. And just
Austin made it look impossible. Austin scratched the system though when he pulled it off. I was like, dude, it's not that hard to pull the panel off. I don't know why he did that. It was weird. I mean, he scuffed the control. He scuffed the console when he did that. It's not that hard.
Wasn't it rookie, dude? Nobody's making up issues. I'm just saying, I had a Series X. The one here in my office gets really hot for some reason. I'm not making anything up, dude. I'm sitting in an $800 fucking Xbox chair. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Rookie's views may not represent that of any intelligent individuals. I know Rookie.
But I play on all of them equally. But I've been lucky so far with both.
Yeah. Shout out to Salo Rev had one of his, like, okay, so the one he connected the external drive and it bricked the system.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he had a big issue. He couldn't even log in online or nothing like that. It was just basically bricked. So
that's the day one problems with these consoles. I guess.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you get
lucky,
man. I
don't want that to happen to Solid though, because he's making a video on that straight away.
Well, it worked out for him. He got a new one, thank God. He got a new one, but I didn't hear the end of it. Let me tell you.
I love Solid. It's a sick guy. Hogry, thank you so much for the $5 super. He goes, I wonder if Xbox gamers are so used to being piled on that bad news doesn't affect them as much. PlayStation fans are becoming quite toxic. Ouch.
The death threats, I would definitely say, yeah. I don't never want to see that on either side. That
goes beyond toxic.
That's beyond anything. Like threatening the developer over a piece of plastic. Come on, man. It's not. Or just a random YouTuber who just doing analysis. That's not worth anything.
Yeah, and the bad part, it's not like these people make money or profit from any of this shit. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. They're like, oh, how dare you lie on this company? I'm like, okay, are you getting paid by this company? Why the hell do you care about this right here? And on top of it, even if he lied or he spread something that was false, okay, the truth will come out regardless. So I don't get why it's this big deal where we're threatening his life, his family, his kids. We're doxing his personal information. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Le Demelieu, thank you so much. Good to see you on here, brother. Thank you so much for the €2 super chat. He goes, hot, chili, hot, which basically means sauce. I like the topic. Well, Le Demelieu, you will like the fact that more sauce videos are coming. But yeah, I know he's a big fan of our sauce videos. It's never that good. Ace, I know you've been busy with the family and stuff. Have you been keeping an eye on Austin Evans and this controversy about power at PlayStation and 5 degrees of hotness?
From a distance, yeah, and from listening to what you've just said about it, I would say if I had to choose between a launch PlayStation 5 and this new revision, I would take the new revision.
Really?
Because there's two things that you said there. One is that Digital Foundry said that the power consumption is the same, and the spec is the same, it's performing the same. So you'd surmise from that it's generating in the chipset the same amount of heat. And the second thing you said is that it's essentially exhausting more heat. It's getting rid of 5 degrees more heat than the old console model did. All that says to me is that it has a better cooling system than the old one. So they may be saving money on materials, and they've chopped out some copper. Yeah, they've got a different fan. They've chopped out some copper and replaced it with aluminium. But by the numbers, it's cooling more effectively.
Yeah, on the basis. Yeah. I've seen that take before as well. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Jim was saying that the cost savings aren't being passed on to the consumer, which is a fair point. I just don't think they're often done that because companies need to start making a profit on these consoles. Sony I think someone announced that they are now. They've broken even and they are making a profit on the consoles.
Yeah, they are.
This Big Cloud.
Yeah, they pretty much, it was already confirmed. Even Austin said it in the video that they're making money for profit on the newer models. So they're not losing anything on these ones. So these newer models are pretty much going to flush out the current ones that we have already very soon. This is going to be the new wave of them.
So one thing that I think is fair to say with the launch model PlayStation 5 though, is if there were concerns about its reliability, they were heat related. They were to do with the clock speeds of the GPU, and people were posting all of these videos of things flickering and artifacting and all the rest of it. I cannot imagine that Sony would then compromise on heat with a new revision that has that hardware, and the numbers suggest that they haven't compromised on that. So
yeah, see, Asa, I would say I would wait personally to test the internals first before
Oh,
I
don't
even
get me
make a
wrong. I'm not going to
decision.
swap. I'm not going to swap the one I've got. It works. If you've got a PlayStation 5
Yeah,
that works,
yeah,
keep
don't
it,
do that.
cherish it, be nice to it.
Like, let's wait for all the bells and whistles to actually be tested before we make that decision that it's actually cooler and more efficient. Because the thing that's always been on my mind, so I heard they cheaped out on the vital stuff, is just the longevity. Like, it might work as advertised, let's say for the first 3 years. How long is it going to work afterwards? And that's the thing we got to really look at too.
Yeah, the long-term impact of these things is going to be really important. Yeah, I have some questions around that because that thing is huge. But yeah, let's see. I mean, the whole thing with Austin Evans, though, that's a complete taking the mick. And shout out to Fonzarelli in the chat. He says, especially when Austin didn't even lie. He didn't lie, and he didn't. He didn't lie. Even if he did, he doesn't deserve doxing and death threats.
That's. Well, what's the other one that people do on the streamers? They swat them.
SWAT.
Crazy.
Yeah.
People have
Thank
died
God.
from that.
Thank God he didn't get that. Thank God he didn't get that.
That is disgusting. That's when
well, that's happened
that's
here.
really bad.
That's happened here in the U.S. What, a couple of
A
times?
lot.
And
People
one dude
have
actually,
died.
one dude actually got. I think what was it, like 3 or 4 people that's actually been killed from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was the wrong guy as well. Someone else's house. It wasn't even the right. It's horrible because you get the kids, the family involved. It's just.
Yeah.
You have to be grade A sad loser to do that stuff, man. I mean, yeah, that's way beyond.
You're not as
Dr.
you're not as anonymous online as you think you are.
Yeah. You're really not. What happened with Dr. Disrespect is another example. I don't know if y'all remember, he was home, he was streaming, somebody shot at his house.
Shot at his house, man.
Yeah. They shot up his house when he was streaming. So it's another thing. It's like people take this gaming side a little too serious. It's not that serious. It really isn't.
Well, speaking of that, and Bit, you're probably going to laugh at this one. What amazes me is the audacity of some of these people to attack other people. But what's to say? Because we all know humans, we're fucked up individuals. Right? You don't know what one person's going to do from the next, right? And doing what I do, the business that I own, I see the bad side of humanity every day. That's my business.
Oh yeah.
You do some messed up stuff.
But what happens when one of these guys puts out a YouTube video or they post a tweet to the wrong fucking person?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude, I don't know if you heard what happened to Daphne, the wrestler. She killed herself on live stream. Bro, it's mental.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she killed herself. She was like having a full meltdown. She was like, hey guys,
So
send my
sad.
brain to this place. Basically, it's the place where Chris Benoit, y'all remember him when he killed
Oh, yeah.
her? He was asking she was asking him to send her brain to the same spot or same place that Chris Benoit brain was, and then she was looking for a gun. She found the gun. Everybody saw the gun, and then she ended the stream and she passed. She died that day. Killed herself.
Yeah, that's so sad.
I mean, and people. I mean, if people are willing to send a SWAT team to your house, what's to stop this crazy dude say his name's? I don't know. Give him some random fucking name on Twitter. What's to say this crazy dude ain't going to track you down online and show up at your doorstep?
Yeah,
it's not hard to find people's IPs.
No, it's not.
It really is not. It's not. Dudes, they're not satisfied until they really piss off the right person. They're really not. Like, so dude I used to watch on here. I think Fonz I'm talking about is the 1316 Killer. He used to make, or his name was Killer Comedy Unleashed afterwards, but he used to make a lot of great videos. Dude used to always just piss people off though, but it was for comedy, right? He pissed off this one particular stalker, and this dude literally found his IP and did the worst. Like, he was sending them pizzas to his house and all this shit. Like, he was literally just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Nah.
See, I mean, you just never know, dude. And I don't see the point behind it.
And he almost got him fired. Yeah, Fonz remembers. Yeah, he almost got him fired because he found out where he worked.
That's a thing now, because I don't even know if I told you guys. I actually had somebody, and you've been on our show.
Yeah,
we are multi-platform. We all play everything. We don't trash one thing or the other. I actually had a dude one day, and I don't know how he did it. I don't really care. I thought it was funny. I got a call, and there's this little voice on the other side of my phone. He goes, "I need to speak to one of your employees." I'm like, okay. So the first thing I'm thinking, oh God, what has one of my guys done? Right? I'm thinking they pissed off a homeowner or a realtor or something.
Right.
This guy's like, do you know your employee has a YouTube channel?
Wow.
And he goes, yeah, and I don't like this son of a bitch. And he talks all this stuff on YouTube, and I think you should fire him. And I was like, okay. So I decided, well, I'm gonna play with the guy at this point, right? And so I asked him, I was like, what's the name of the YouTube channel? He goes, it's Gaming Beyond the Box, well, at the time it's actually under Wilmy Hood. And he goes, it's under Wilmy Hood. And I goes, oh yeah. I know he's got a channel. It's okay.
Wow.
And he goes, well, that's not right, man. You should fire him. I mean, he says stuff on that show, and I'm like, dude, he doesn't. I was like, why does this offend you so bad? I just don't like him. I think you should fire him. And
so you just don't like him, so he deserves to lose his way.
And the bad
providing.
part,
wow.
The funny part is talking to me over the phone, and if he's listening to me on YouTube, I'm Southern as fuck. He should have been. I mean, he should have been able to hear the accent, right?
Your voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very distinctive.
Yeah, there's not many YouTubers with my accent, and I can't help it. I was born this way, and but he had no clue. And I'm like, dude, you realize you're talking to me, dumbass? And he goes,
"You said it to him."
Yeah, and he got mad and hung up. But what he did, I screwed up one day back last year, and it was around Veterans Day, and I'm a vet. One of my guys on the panel goes, he's a veteran, and I lost my brother-in-law in Afghanistan in 2012. He was killed by a suicide bomber. Well, we were doing a thing for Veterans Day, and I fucked up. I gave my father's last name.
Wow.
Live on the air. Because my father was a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
And I fucked up by doing that. So this guy took the time out of his day
to track you down.
To track me down by that last name.
Wow.
No way.
See?
You took that one opportunity, that one time you slipped up, and that means people are watching all the time.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it blows me away. We get like 40 to 50,000 people watch us every week, and it still blows my mind that many people are that fucked up. But but it was the fact that he took the time out of his life
right
to do that.
That's mad.
And it's not hard. We use webcams. So I mean, all he had to do was go on Facebook. Evidently, he went through Facebook, put the name in there, and just search for somebody that looked like me. And if you go on my Facebook page now, I have a picture of my Jeep. So
Your license plate.
No, my Jeep. That's
it's a Jeep.
You see a picture of my Jeep. You won't see my face on that YouTube page.
Okay.
And so from there, he found my business page.
He probably found you to mutual friends too. You ever think about that? Maybe
that's very possible.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's going to happen to me, isn't it? You're going to find me because I do this series. But you know what? I'm never stopping. The source never stops. I don't give a shit how much you dox me. Please don't dox me. But I'm still going to release the source no matter... till death. But it's kind of scary. It's good that you talk about that because Acer streams all the time. Acer's probably waiting to be swatted because Acer's probably got all sorts of
notice
sorting over his different, like they just give you a crime.
No, it's like he kind of cringed when you said that though. He kind of like stopped. He got stopped. I saw that.
No, he was like, the police here will just be like, come here with the batons. Also, it's not. Or you guys probably think a cup of tea. Hey, Scrub Nurse, good shout out, brother. It's good to have you on GBTV the other day, just to meet you on GBTV. I mean, shout out to the Southerners. I love the Southern accent. I just love it. I'm
glad you do. It gets on my nerves.
Find me a wife from the down south.
No, man.
I love it. I love that stuff. I love that voice. Watch my back. Yeah, I'll watch my back. Yeah, well, very somber moment. And look, please be nice. Like as Colt Eastwood says, this video games, even with the source, please understand, we treat it like art. We're making it just comedic. And this is a big disclaimer. The next source video, in this kind of soft age, it might seem a little bit controversial, but it's in fun, and we've got 2 source videos in the works consecutively, and we're put them out more frequently. But one of them, it's for fun and games. We don't want to offend anyone, but someone's always going to get offended.
Well, it doesn't matter what you do; you're going to offend somebody.
I'm gonna offend someone anyway, but this one, I mean, I can't stop the passion. The I wish I could tell you. I'm dying to tell you what it is.
Dude, I'll tell everybody. If you don't like somebody's content, don't watch it.
Simple.
Exactly.
it.
I don't understand
why
people
stalk
like that.
them? Like, why stalk them? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Move on. Just move on.
Or
Move on.
cancel this or start a movement. But I'm going to keep going. The source is made for that in a world where people seem restricted from not being able to do what they do, which is a good segue into the next topic, which is lucky that we aren't living in China, because China is crazy right now. They've been this is horrible news. Imagine if we're old now, but if you were a child, I don't know, there are questions around this. They say, I don't know if you followed this, but China's announced that it's putting major restrictions on gaming now. So for minors, I don't know what that age group entails, but basically you can only play for 1 hour, an hour and a half, sorry, on weekdays, and 3 hours on weekends and holidays. Actually, no, sorry, it was 1.5 hours. Now it's 1 hour between 8 and 9 p.m. What the hell, man? That's insane.
How in the hell are they tracking that? That's the thing I want to know. Like, how do they know you're going over the limit?
This is the thing. I have no idea about how it's being enforced and what the parents have to do. Weird. Be grateful you're not in China, because this is crazy. And I was talking about this on GBTB the other day.
Yeah, dude, it's unreal.
It's mad. Like this. I mean, we had a shout out to the Chinese. What makes no sense to me is the fact that Tencent is growing. It's gobbling up all these studios, and then China is doing this. I don't know. We had a shout out to China. A lot of people said, why are you bringing that up? Because we're a global show. And a shout out to the Chinese brothers and sisters watching us. If you're little kids out there, imagine that. Imagine gaming taken away from us or restricted in such a severe way. Oh, my childhood would suck without video games. Although back then we did ride our bikes a lot more and go out. But I don't know what that means for the next generation.
I mean, this newer generation uses gaming to kind of like help with depression, different disabilities and everything. So it's like, I don't get it. Why cut it out?
Yeah, man,
it's almost therapeutic in a way for them. You know what I mean? Like, it helps them relax, get through. Now it's like,
it is therapy. I don't know. But let's look at the bright side. For that 1 hour, how lit will your online lobbies be in the game? Everyone is playing at once. It's going to be like, this is it. Fun time.
It'll be less trash talking, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's listening in. Hey, so what's your take on this? I mean, there's no take here, really, is there? It's just something really atrocious in the gaming space.
It's a fantastic way to threaten my children. When they're thinking that they're having a hard time, I'll be like, if you lived in China, 1 hour on a Friday,
I'll send you to China.
Saturday and Sunday, be grateful. And that's it, problem solved. There's been some other weird things going on over there as well, like other rules outside of gaming as well. So it's not looking good there for people in general, I suppose. But at the same time, I guess it raises the whole conversation again on like, how healthy is it? How much time should children be spending on games? These questions that it would be really nice if there were more firm answers for. So as a parent, it's still not something that's been well studied. And it's very easy as gamers to dismiss it all and go, no, I'm perfectly healthy. I played games. But actually, they're probably... I'm not saying there's definitely like a problem with playing too much, but study would be great to understand all of the impacts it can have on people developing, for sure. China have obviously decided it's terrible for everyone. Children must only have their 3 hours, and all the rest of the things that they've done. They mustn't see boy bands and whatever else.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
There's not much else
that
you can
boy
really say
band thing
about
was
it,
mad as well, isn't it?
Imagine they put a limitation on music.
Oh man, that's just killing. Killing life, man. Music is just the source. When I make a source video, I actually listen to tracks. The music track actually creates the source video in my head. It's weird. So imagine that kind of creativity being stifled. In China, the thing that Asa was alluding to is also this, like, the cutting boy bands or guys dressing a certain way to model more masculine figures or something like that, isn't it? It's mad. It sounds like the Taliban are in China. It's mental. Which is shout out to the Taliban. They've come into power. That's not a shout. That's a horrible way of.
Hey, wait, what kind of show is this? What's going on here? Wait, what?
I don't know, but I'm
That came out wrong. That is not a
somebody
shout
clip
out to
that.
the Taliban.
Somebody clip that. You can't survive that one.
No, I did not want to shout out the Taliban. I meant not shout out. What the hell? I can't think.
Oh, God.
Also, the Taliban are in power. This is what I wanted to say. Not shout out. Please don't clip that. Yo, that's bad. But yeah, I mean, the world's going crazy. Afghanistan's going backwards. And I really feel for them. I come from a region in Pakistan that borders Afghanistan. And there's some pretty bad scenes in terms of people coming over to Pakistan. I'm already hearing it's quite bad. But then there's a lot of propaganda as well. But it's really bad. The world is crazy. Be grateful for what you have. You're sending death threats to Austin Evans when you could be in China. Or you could be the Taliban. So it's pretty bad.
There's a wild part about that. Imagine doing a raid in Destiny and it's like, hey guys, you only got 5 seconds left of the game. Like you're in the middle of this. Them raids last forever. It's like, dude, that's
that might work for China, man, because those guys are gonna be efficient as hell. It's like, boom, okay, that's it. They're gonna be. In fact, they might be sick when you never know, man. But the question is enforceability, like you mentioned at the start. How the hell is someone actually going to enforce this? It makes no sense unless the parents are doing it.
Unless it's like a software update. Maybe there's like a software update that gives them data. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah,
that they have you can't get online without being thoroughly registered with all of your personal details and ID anyway. So maybe it is.
That's true. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they can just check your ID. Like, hey, they hit you. I guess they would have hit you with a fine if you go over the time limit. Is that what's happening? No.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's a fine and they'll threaten you with jail time. I'm guessing to stop. They make you sure you follow this law, which is again is ridiculous by itself.
It's not even jail time because China has this social credit system. That's insane. If you watch it's mad. You jaywalk, boom.
You're screwed.
Bye-bye mortgage. It's literally like that Black Mirror episode. If you watch Black Mirror, there's an episode, season 3, episode 1, maybe. That's the one where everyone gets the social credit. People be nice. They get, it's crazy. China, you're not supposed to make that into real life. What's going on? I feel bad. But okay, we'll bring it back to positive news if we can. That's pretty bad for China. But we can say, look, we're not Chinese, so why doesn't bother us? But we have to feel for it, man. I feel for it. Sorry, I know a few Chinese friends of mine who actually traveled back to China, and there's a lot happening with Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, if you want empathy for worldwide political issues, I wouldn't say gaming is top of the list, to be fair. But
yeah, it's true. It's true. But it's just one symptom that's of a whole problem there. There's a lot going on there. And shout out to the people who have to put up with that. It's really bad. And no shout out to the Taliban, by the way. I need to disclaimer that.
I'm pretty sure somebody clipped that. They had to clip that.
That's been clipped. I know for a fact it's been clipped. But yeah, that's crazy. This week also, there's been. I say I want to get good news, but there's good news coming. But before we do, actually, let me twist this around. Xbox is supposed to have a show in Japan, and Aaron Greenberg has told people to temper expectations. That's not working though, because people are now going, oh, but the last time he said that, not this last show, but the one before that, we got a pretty big surprise announcement. Don't do that to yourself, especially with Japan. I don't know what Xbox can do in Japan, but Big Loud, do you think that there's what could Microsoft do in Tokyo that would surprise you? It could be big.
So I thought the Boom about it. Boom was talking about what was it? Something with Kojima, because Mads Mikkelsen is working with Kojima supposedly again. So maybe some type of announcement from Hideo Kojima, like with because it was like reportedly they're working on a game with Microsoft, right? Like exclusive. So maybe that would be there. But like I told him there, I was like, if anything Kojima related, it wouldn't be there. It would be at like the Game Awards, something like that, at a Jeff Keighley show, because Jeff and him are so close. Like usually a big announcement like that would literally be saved for like what right now is literally the best show so far, and that's the Game Awards. Because let's face it, these other shows have been kind of lackluster, even Gamescom. I'm not really expecting much here at this show, and I kind of agree with Aaron here. I would say temper your expectations. I don't think like there might be some good here, right? There might be some good, but I don't think I don't want to get my hopes up for anything crazy at all for this show.
I don't know.
Nah.
What about you, Asa?
Oh, you never took my predictions for the PlayStation show. The Japan and the Xbox show is going to be pretty low key. I'm not expecting any kind of announcements really or anything that we haven't seen, but big showing from their
a lot of people are saying Persona could happen, and that could be one that would, it's not mega but it's still pretty big.
It'd be nice.
I think that'd be good, because Sega and Xbox have a good relationship. What's your thoughts on the PlayStation, by the way? Sorry, apologies, I didn't get your thoughts on that.
No, that's all right. I don't have a lot. I reckon screen will go dark, Spider-Man will appear, people watching all over the internet will go, Spider-Man, and then it'll turn out to be DLC for the Avengers game. Furious. That's my prediction for the PlayStation show. That's it, my one and only. There'll be a bunch of like Call of Duty and things as well, but
I better not see that. Ace, I don't want that to be true. Why you burn my? Why you do that? So I don't
just kill the hype. I think it's gonna be a good show. I think it'll be big, sweet, short, but dank.
It needs to be.
Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely needs. If it's another crap show, oh my god! Moment of silence for the MBGs of the world, because they've been really desperately looking for an event, actually, like to really get their juices going. Wilma, you just spit for a while there. We were talking about China, and then we did a shout out to the Taliban, which is really bad. This is a misspoke. But
the Taliban.
And then we are talking about Xbox and Japan. Do you care about Japanese games? You don't seem the type to play Persona.
Oh, because I'm Southern, right? That's why.
Exactly why. That's exactly why. I just can't imagine you with the Southern accent screaming stuff in Japanese going,
Hey, look over here, guys. You see that sword I got? Holy shit, man. Look at that thing. No. I don't really play. I don't really play a lot of them. There's a few I do, but not many. So, but I mean, Xbox has got to do something over there, to bring in more players. So maybe they will have some type of partnership with Sega. Who knows?
I think they do.
I think, forgot about Sega. There's reports about Sega.
Yeah, I think there's. But Phil Spencer has publicly said that he's regretted how Xbox has approached Japan, and he wants to make a concerted effort in that region. And there have been some they have alluded to maybe smaller acquisitions taking place there. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. And even if acquisition do take place, they might be smaller studios, won't be big news. I don't think it constitute that, but they really want to try that. Xbox Game Pass relies on, I think the model will rely on it spreading far and wide. Far East Asia is a big market that they need to corner, and the value proposition of Game Pass is a big way they could do that. Even if it's third-party games, like they partner up with third-party games, they could definitely corner that market. Well, not corner the market, but make a dent there.
Get more players at least. Get more people in the Game Pass and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and that's
I think that would be it. A Game Pass showcase, maybe for them, something big for Game Pass.
It's possible.
More games on Game Pass, that's for Japanese games. More, because xCloud is also really important. Their internet there is insane in Japan and South Korea. And xCloud is something that could work really well there. Can you imagine? Because there are a lot of mobile gamers there. In fact, actually, mobile gaming is more prominent. It's huge. There.
Yeah.
It's huge in Japan. So xCloud could be huge, like not secret weapon, but a huge weapon in their arsenal in Far East Asia. We've had Brazilian viewers here who have talked about the ridiculous tax that they get charged. And there's a Brazilian viewer of ours actually. If you're in the chat, just give us a shout. And he was he's a regular. I forgot his name now. And he talks about how much like these PlayStation games cost ridiculous amounts. So this is their mobile gaming is huge, and they have this one weird game. They play on mobile is massive. So xCloud could there be huge if data caps are a thing. I don't know how it works in Brazil. The same thing, a weird thing in Japan is that they just prefer mobile gaming. So yeah, I think they will double down on Game Pass. I think expect to see that's a safe bet. That's what you should expect. Don't expect Lost Odyssey 2 or anything cool like that. Unfortunately,
if Microsoft was smart, they would partner with like I don't know Google, so that way they can get like fiber optics with the service everywhere. I'd go something like that.
Yeah, I mean, when is that Google fiber optic thing even happening? Wasn't that supposed to happen ages ago? I haven't heard anything about that here in the UK anyway.
More likely, I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it because of the pandemic. You know, they can't even guarantee work. So, yeah, they're probably waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably delayed.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I need fiber optic in my area, as you can tell. This week we also had some very positive Far Cry reviews. I just want to get your thoughts on the chat because Far Cry is a game that I like, despite the fact that it's stuck strongly in the Ubisoft copy and paste formula. Are you a big Far Cry fan, Big Cloud? And chat, let me know if you are as well.
So I was interested in seeing it when we first saw the trailers for it and everything. It looked good, especially the first trailer. And when we saw the live stream, because I live streamed this in the Dead Space thing, I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't help but feel like it was Watch Dogs all over again, the first one.
Yeah.
It looked very washed out, you know, the game. It did not look the same. It didn't look as polished. I was like, what am I looking at here? And aside from that, there wasn't really much to the game that shocked me in terms of like variety or just interesting stuff. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, I got a chicken doing all this. I got a crocodile. I'm not really seeing much. The AI was garbage, by the way. The AI was terrible.
Yeah, I saw that. You picked that up as well, which is
AI
very annoying.
Was very terrible. I'm like, what is the point of this? It's not immersive at all. You're shooting at the AI, and the AI is like barely shooting back or barely reacting, and it's shooting at this turkey. I'm like, what? Ubisoft's at this point with me, especially with Assassin's Creed. You just know what you're going to get. That makes sense. You just know every time. Like it's like if you go to E3 and Ubisoft's E3 is going to say, hey, what am I going to see? Let me see. Just Dance, Assassin's Creed, an update on this. Like we still haven't even got any updates on Skull and Bones. What happened to that game? Or Beyond Good and Evil.
About that.
Beyond Good and Evil is another one. It's like, where are these games? So
Beyond Good and Evil, I think it's going to release in 2077.
I might as well say it's canned at this point. I don't believe anything anymore when it comes to this game. But that's where I'm at with Ubisoft. Ubisoft just doesn't. They don't surprise me or wow me anymore. That makes I'm not there anymore. Like it's not like Assassin's Creed 2 Ubisoft. That Ubisoft blew me away every time. You know, it was like I've seen everything at this point. No Splinter Cell. No, you know what I mean? Like everybody's making these remakes. Why aren't you making a remake of Splinter Cell?
And what's happening with that, man?
Yeah, it's like do something that shocks us.
Yeah,
I mean, we're getting a 007 game very soon, which I'm hyped for that. I love the 007 games back in the day, but there's really, you know what I'm saying? There's no excitement in Ubisoft, just nothing. So
they play it safe.
They really do, and it's pathetic. And look at Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is so pay to win now. You can literally just buy all the stuff from the store. You don't even have to play the story.
Really? I mean, I haven't played those games. They're so
they have a separate store in the games now where you can buy like all the cosmetic stuff, but you can also buy level ups and different gears. Yeah, you can buy different gears. You can do that in Odyssey, Wilmy. And you could do the one in Origins. You can buy level ups and buy all that stuff. So it's like,
oh my god,
they literally just defeat the purpose of you actually going into.
See, I bought Valhalla last year, but I haven't even played it yet.
I skipped that game altogether. I was like, bro, they want $70, $6 for this? No, it looked like
I'm with you.
Origins or not. Origins really looked good, but I would say Odyssey was like the last good one in my personal opinion. Aside from
Odyssey was okay.
You ain't like Odyssey? I thought Odyssey was really, really good. Just because of the mythological creatures. I thought they did a lot of
I got bored with it on the second DLC when you went to Hades.
Oh, okay, yeah.
After like 140 hours, when I got to Hades, I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
It's definitely a constant grind. That's the thing. It's constant. It's nonstop.
Yeah, I can't deal with that grind. Far Cry is the only one I can stomach because I like the core gameplay loop on the first-person shooters, but even that's kind of grating. But their previews have been a bit mixed. Mike Minotti from VentureBeat, GamesBeat actually, copped some flack from Kotaku of all places, which is quite funny.
Black Flag, that was a good one. X-Coin.
Yeah,
Black Flag was amazing. Loved that one.
Black Flag, yeah. Actually, that was a really good game. That was really good. That was
underrated.
That was a different Ubisoft. Shout out to Paris in the chat. He says Death Store equals Game of the Year. Source. He said that was directed at you because you didn't like Death Store. Paris, you asked what Source is. Watch the Source videos on our channel if you're still there.
Let me clear stuff up. I don't not like Death Store. I just don't rate it as high as that. Everyone's entitled to like their own games they want. It's fine.
Yeah, Paris. Stop being toxic or be toxic and then jump in the sauce. See? Yeah. So you like to swim in the sauce. I like it. But yeah, we've just gone past the hour and a half mark. Are there any topics? I can't think of any at this point. Anyway, I'm really hyped about PlayStation event for the people who are watching. Bear in mind, we are doing a live coverage of the PlayStation event on Thursday, which is 9 p.m. BST. And for you lovely people in the States, figure it out because I can't do that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is in the States. You have so many different states.
There's
BST,
another rumor.
EST.
There's another rumor that's showing up on Twitter right now about Alan Wake. Alan Wake remastered.
I heard that for a while. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Supposed to be on PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah. And Uncharted was Nathan Drake collection. It's going to be coming back.
PC.
It's going to be PC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that's happening. We know that's happening. We know it's happening. If you look at their at that earnings report thing they did a while ago, when they was talking about potential growth, they were showing Uncharted, they were showing Horizon and Spider-Man. And seeing the graph, saying how that can boost growth. So I do see that happening down the road. I even mentioned that in a video. I was like, it makes sense. Full-fledged remake of the remaster and putting that on PC, $50. And probably knowing Jim Ryan, he'll probably bring in the PS5 and PS4 again, trying to get more out of it. He'll say 60 FPS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening. Well, we have an interesting gen. This even though typically Colt says this, it's like, oh man, we need more source, but we actually got quite a lot happen in what is typically a really dead year. The first year of gaming is really dead, but we've got really, really good experiences. What I really like is indie games, indie devs really shining this year, which is sick to see. If you're a gamer like us and you're old like me, you would love indies. You appreciate what
old like you. Right.
Indies are good. Indies could be great. Dusk and Elysian Tale, you gotta play that.
Yeah. And shout out to Joe Winter's game released on Monday as well. A great guy, and I wish him all the best. No, John Rocks, I did not get unblocked by Jason Schreier despite my source video, alluding to the fact that if I'm the bad guy, maybe he will be inclined to unblock me because he likes to play the villain a lot. I know. I see you, Jason. And again, I'll just have to repeat, Jason, it's not personal slight. And you're free to make a video where you can do all sorts of things to my doppelganger. Actually, don't. That sounds weird. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I know we overlapped with a Rand show, so after this, I'm going to give him a phone call and beat the absolute out of him. But yeah, thank you so much. We had a great chat. This is really good. We talked about. This is a symptom of Wilmy and BitCloud together because we talked about China, we talked about politics, talked about doxing, talked about the Taliban.
Me and Bill agree on a lot of things. I told you at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew each other.
That's true.
I usually never tell my guests who's coming on with who. hoping that they don't have some personal beef or something, because that could be awkward. But at the same time, it's kind of nice surprise, isn't it, when you see the announcement? Oh, I mean, I'm on with them.
Women's,
I was happy
women's
you
good
saw that
people.
this morning.
Yeah, women's good people. When I saw the tweet, I was like, oh, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was hoping you
Guys,
were going to put up, some other names that I can think of.
I was going to put Marlon in. Next time I'm inviting you and Marlon together.
I will come down with something. I will have explosive diarrhea. It doesn't even matter.
So, Marlon. No, dude. Oh, man.
No, poor Marlon, man. Actually, I was going to get Marlon on today. It was so funny because of the PlayStation show. I might actually get him on next week. I don't know if I can reach out. He works on Saturdays. But, Wilmy, noted. Sometimes synergy is very important. We have to acknowledge that human beings are all different. Personalities don't gel.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's different. 100%.
I love you, Wilmy, man. But shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you had a good time. And gents, this is outro time. Big Cloud, it's good to have you on, man. Hopefully, have you on more soon. Hopefully, get to be on your show soon. But tell everyone where they can find you, and I hope you had a good time.
Oh yeah, as always, man. I appreciate it. I missed being on the show. I didn't get invited for a while. I was like, damn, I must do something wrong. So I was shocked that you hit me up. Hit me up. But I appreciate it. It was fun. I'm definitely get you guys on next week if you guys are free. Actually, you guys free Friday.
Yeah.
Get you on Friday. You guys free Friday?
Let's do it.
All right,
I
sure.
can do Friday. It's
All right, Jason. All right,
Friday.
there you go. So this Friday, RGT podcast, my channel, Big Cloud Gaming. I'm gonna have these awesome gents on. Looking forward to it. We're gonna talk some gaming. But thanks for having me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, man. You too. And last but certainly not least, Wilmy, man. It's always a pleasure, man. I had so much fun on GBTB. Just playing. I actually watched the show back. Well, I don't even watch my own shows back unless I'm doing timestamps. But I had a good time. It's a shame. I tried to get the other GBTB peeps on, but no one was available. But it's. I hope you had a good time this time.
Oh, yeah, always.
Yeah.
When I saw Bid, I'm like, oh, yeah, this would be great.
Well, one of my friends, Dean, messaged me. He goes, "Oh, mate, the Southern guy is hilarious." I didn't. Well, yeah, that's.
And the bad part, dude, I'm just naturally a smart ass. And see, the better part is,
I can vouch for that.
and the other part is, I'm at that age now where I just don't give a fuck what comes out of my mouth. It's just that easy.
Oh man, see, I recognize that.
It's simple, and it's great when you get to that point. I mean, my kids are grown up; they got their own businesses and their own things they do, and yeah, it's just me, my wife, and my pit bull, and games.
I love it.
And
so I love you, man. We aspire to be that free.
Yeah,
I recognize that.
Dude, it's amazing because I even do it in the bad part. I'm actually worse in the real world, believe it or not.
I believe that.
I can't wait to meet you, man.
You got that don't mess with me attitude.
That
demeanor.
But the other day, I mean, this is no joke. I was in the grocery store of all places, and not trying to be mean, this lady walks by me, and I've got asthma, right?
Yeah.
And when the heat where I live at the beach, it's hot, it's humid. It sucks to try to breathe sometimes. And the bad part, dude, of all the things you can be bad at in your life, breathing's got to be one of them. So asthma sucks, right? The bad part, this lady comes by and she's got this perfume on. Dude, I'm serious. If there would have been a bird nearby, he would have fell over dead. I mean, and the lady walks by me, right? And she's standing a few feet away, and the perfume is so strong, dude, my eyes are watering. And I start walking away, and I'm coughing. And now you don't want to cough in 2021, right?
Oh yeah.
If you cough, somebody's going to, give you a dirty look.
Yeah.
And she turns around and looks at me because you got COVID. I'm like, no, bitch, you're fucking choking me. I was like, did you take a bath? And she just gave me a dirty look, and I was like, oh my God, I actually said that. And, I mean,
she deserved it because she said you got COVID. She came at you.
Yeah, she's like, have you got COVID or something? I'm like, no, you're choking me with that perfume. And the bad part, I'm walking down the aisle, and there's another guy looks at me and goes, I mean, it was
thinking
terrible.
it too.
It was that, I don't know what you call essence of skunk or something.
Essence of skunk. Oh
Essence
no!
It
of
was
skunk.
it
Where's my
was
soundboard?
so bad.
Come
I
on,
was waiting
Wilmy.
Dude, I was waiting
Essence
on.
of skunk. Oh my god! I can't.
I was waiting. Dude, I was really waiting for Pepe Le Pew to come and try to sweep her off her feet. It was terrible. But of course, you got to get out of here. So you can find me every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Gaming Beyond the Box with me and my panel of degenerates. And you can find me on Twitter unless you're one of the 100,000 people that I've got blocked. And yes, I crossed that number a while ago. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me pretty much everywhere. Type in Wilmy Hood. I'm in all sorts of places you would not imagine I would be in. Me either, to be honest, because hell, it's the technical age. Why not? So, and matter of fact, next week, BitCloud is going to be my guest.
Oh, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a mad show. Thank you
And
so much.
hopefully-
I wasn't bored of that story. That's I've been in that situation before.
Hopefully, all my panel will actually be able to make it this time.
Yeah, I think I felt a bit insulted. I was like, "Is it me? Is it me?"
Nah, dude, poor
Come on, this is me talking about. Don't make the show.
poor Fork, man. He works so many hours, dude, at the hospital.
Yeah,
He's just like, he's dragging, and Dreadpool works all kinds of really crazy hours too, and
Shout out to Dread.
we
Definitely
do
good
this
too.
for fun.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean,
Yeah,
we all
that's what
do
it
something in the
shows.
background.
You have a very, very chilled show. As I could say things on your show I can't even say here. There's no filter there.
And
Ace
the
is thinking,
hard
when
part,
have you ever applied a filter? But,
and the hard part, I was on the Iron Lords a couple of weeks ago. You know how hard it is for me not to curse for 2.5, 3 hours?
oh man, you must have been dying. You must have probably bled internally.
My tongue was bleeding after the show.
Shout out to the Island. Shout out to Cog who's meeting the Lost Stand Media crew. I think they're taking a hiatus. Mad love for Cog. He's making it out there.
It's a good dude.
They're
The
all
nicest
really
guy.
good guys,
It's a
man.
good dude.
All of them, yeah, that's sick.
Yep.
I'm proud of
shout out to
And that's
Cog.
the one thing to take away from the community. No matter how many people offend you in the community, or how many people get to be obnoxious, there's a lot of really good people in the community
Yeah.
that you can follow, you can talk to.
Yep.
Don't let all the assholes ruin it for you.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't care. So like, I'll play the villain all day as long as I've got friends. The word day Cog says. I told Cog, it's like, look, you have to tell me when I've crossed the line with the source. He's like, bro, I'm cool with it. I'll watch your. Actually, should I start outing him? He watches my stuff secretly because he can't put it publicly because he's repping stuff. But as long as I'm in the good books of the close circle of you guys here, I don't care what the randoms think. The community is good. You have many, but you have lots of great people, and I love this community. And shout out to you both for coming on. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I recognize all your names. I wish I could read all your names. Shout out to Isla Drummond as well, by the way, the mod who is lovely, who creates all the intros and outros. There's so much detail on them of all our guests. We sometimes give you no notice as well, Isla. That's all Ace's fault. And on that note, Ace,
Ace is like, what?
the outros.
Yeah, okay. Thanks everyone in chat, on the panel, the guests, and that's it. I am around. So I was on holiday last week. I'm back streaming every day now, so you can find me on Twitch. Isla, that you just shouted out, will probably post the links for me there. Thank you, Isla. And yeah, that's about it. So we'll see you. Oh, Gaz, are we doing Thursday? Should probably mention
Thursday, it's going to be a live show.
Yeah, everybody's
We'll announce the
coming.
time. We'll do it covering the PlayStation event, but just a little bit before that, we talk about it. Build some hype up to talk about what's happening and see how wrong our guesses are.
I'm hoping
haven't
for a
thought-
really good show.
Yeah,
I'm hoping I think it's gonna be a sick show.
I'll shoot you guys the invite to the server and everything on Thursday, so that way I won't forget, and we'll run it.
Oh, yeah.
Full review Friday. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
do check us out on Friday on BitCloud Show. Will be, if you follow us on Twitter, it's Asa_GameOnDaily and me at GazOnDaily. And you can just keep abreast with us. But Thursday show should be happening. Should be a good one. And here's hoping PlayStation delivers. It's about time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And peace out.
Bye.
Gotcha. Hey everyone, welcome to Go Live.
Phil, Dominos, Maximus, Aurelius, Spencer.
That I love playing games, but I'm also a massive nerd when it comes to the tech. Someone at Sony that remembers that is going to drive a lorry through the wall and say, "Hey everybody, PlayStation's at E3. We don't hate our fans. Let's go," and put on their own show.
Put on their own show.
Is that wild enough?
Welcome to Versus. In this series, two contestants go head to head in a battle to the death. In this episode, we have two.
But we're confident, you know. We're the Master Chief. Ish. I'm dead.
That could not be better timed.
Now, Returnal has had an issue with crashing, and this is due to, of course, heat. This game gets very hot, the system crashes, right, to reboot. That's what it does when it reboots, when it rebuilds the database, for those of you who are wondering. It rebuilds it, it reboots. It does that so the system can stay, optimized. That's what they do.